Yo folks, alright, so right now I want to do a video kind of sharing my opinions and thoughts and maybe a slight review of a horror sequel that I absolutely love. And the franchise is fun to it as well. Let's see, it's got awesome special effects for its budget. It's got a fun cast. Let's see here. The replay value of this movie is pretty high. I can watch it over and over. Also, it takes place on Halloween. Alright, so I mean, how can you go wrong with it taking place on Halloween, right? Alright, so the movie in question is tonight is Halloween Resurrection. Not just kidding, y'all. Haha. Nah, see, that movie there has zero replay play availability. It doesn't have any qualities that make you want to go back. And also, it sucks as a horrible sequel. So, I only have that to complete my collection that I bought in 2002. Alright, so, enough said about that one. The real movie I'm going to be reviewing and sharing my comments on is, BAM! Night of the Demons Part 2. Get a load of Angela. Alright, so, yeah, Angela, she's a pretty badass, horror antagonist, I gotta say. So, anyhow, on with this. Everyone knows the plotline part 1, you know, kids go to Hull House for, you know, for a party. The goth girl, Angela, who throws it, turns out she ends up getting possessed and killing everybody, but possessing them as well, and blah, blah, blah. Well, in this one, and don't get me wrong, the first one's an awesome fucking movie. So I'll be doing my review for that one sometime down the road. I just felt like showing some love for this one right now. Alright, so this one is about Angela's little sister, who's dubbed the name Mouse, because she's very meek and weak, you know, she's kind of weak and doesn't have a backbone, very shy. Anyway, after the events of part 1, their parents killed themselves, so now Mouse is an orphan and goes to this like kind of Catholic private school where she lives there and whatnot amongst other students. Anyway, the plot around this is this. There's a bunch of girls that she rooms with. One in particular named Shirley is kind of the bad girl, the resident bad girl. You know, she likes to flirt with the boys in front of Mother Gloria and ask about what is fellatio, you know, and all that kind of stuff in the middle of class. You know, I mean, she's a slut, but I mean, she's a bad girl. But she's also fun, don't get me wrong. She wants to play a prank on Mouse and drag her to Hull House for a party, you know, in this one. Well, her plans get kind of spoiled while they're after a while while they're at Hull House. You know, the trick kind of backfires, and so they decide to go back to the school and join the stupid school dance, as they call it. And before they do so, Shirley happens to go to the bathroom of Hull House and finds a particular item that she's like, I would rather have this and keep with me and leave Hull House with and go back to school with it. Alright, so that in question is a tube of lipstick. Now, if you've ever seen Night of the Demons, you know it. There is a big portion of it that has something to do with a tube of lipstick. Alright? As, you know, Linnea Quigley in the first one shoved it in her tit. But in this one, you know, it's out on the counter. She grabs it, likes the shade. She decides to leave with it. When she leaves with it, though, she ends up having the demons cross along with her because the tube of lipstick's possessed. All right, I know it sounds real bogus, but it's cool. The tube of lipstick's possessed, and so you see, the demons cannot leave Hull House's like property because there's an underground water stream that blocks them in. And this is all explained in part 1. However, if you leave with a certain item, there's no telling what could happen after it crosses the water. Well, in this one, oh well, she uses it at the school, and boom, she gets possessed along with many others. And you know, Angela's back to her old time tricks, you know, killing and possessing people. And this movie is very fun. It has a very quirky humor to it. It's kind of like what Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, was to the original Evil Dead. Night of the Demons 2 is what it was to the original Night of the Demons. Okay, sorry, I kind of flubbed that up, but I think you know where I'm going with that. Okay, it's got a very dark, quirky humor. So all hope breaks loose when they get back to the school dance, and you know, and Shirley becomes possessed and starts seducing everybody else and possessing them. You get there's a lot of splatter in this film. It has some great, awesome gore effects, I have to say. I think it was Steve Johnson who did the effects in this, and he did not disappoint. You get a lot of quirky things going on in this. I mean, such as, you know, one guy gets possessed and his head chopped off, and he ends up playing basketball with his own head. Well, because his character played basketball a lot at school. So, I mean, you get things like that. you get, let's see here. Oh, toward the end of the movie, there's an awesome special effects sequence where Angela turns into a big fucking snake. A big snake demon Angela. It's awesome as hell. I've always loved it. Anyhow, but like this movie, it's just a fun balls to the wall movie. It's a fun sequel that actually lives up to the original, I think, in my opinion. So when all hell breaks loose on the campus, it's up to this kid named Perry who kind of likes the girl mouse. He's fascinated by the occult and all things, you know, dark and whatnot. So he's got knowledge about all this stuff. So he drags Mouse is kidnapped, and he drags Mother Gloria and the other priest along with him to exorcise, I guess, the demons out of the house and everything of Hull House. And in doing so, they bring, you know, of course, Sister Gloria, who has a whole montage of getting ready for Hull House, as in like she's Rambo. And you have Perry, who's running around with a super soaker with a full of holy water, and it does some damage too. Let me tell you. But anyhow, aside from all that, the movie's fun, all right? It's also got a cool cast. Like I said, Sister Gloria is played by, can't remember exactly the actress's name. It's, I think, Jennifer Meyer. I'm not sure. But she played the mother in Slumber Party Massacre Part 2 to Crystal Bernard. Anyway, anyhow... And it's also got a young Christine Taylor, who went on to become Marsha in the Brady Bunch movies, and you know, and also in like with The Weatherman or whatever. She's in it. She's in The Wedding Singer as well. Anyway, it has a very young version of her in it. It's a fun movie. The cast is all cool. And I think it does live up to the original. It does something different, but it lives up to the original. And yeah, like I said, Snake fucking Demon Angela. That's awesome. Seriously, it's awesome. So no, I mean, if you want like a very good fun time where it's not like, nothing in this movie slags. It has a great pace to it. Has some fun characters. You can kind of laugh at them. And also, like I said, some good gore, some carnage, and some good possessions. Then you will definitely dig it. So that's just, you know, how I feel about Night of the Demons 2. You should definitely check it out sometime. Now, Night of the Demons Part 3, that will reserve its own review one day too. But that one I'm not too keen on, but this is where it's at right here, Part 2. They did a good job following up the events of Part 1 with this one. Okay, to me it's considered one of the better sequels that actually rival maybe to the first. Maybe it's slightly not, but it does held up good up against the original. So anyway, enough about my babbling. I just had to say, I love this movie. You should check it out if you never have, and if you love it too, share the love. Alright, peace.